Hi guys, first things first time me doing this kind of content. So welcome to my language hub, language learning content. First time doing this, so I'm really a little bit nervous. Today I wanted to talk about how I learn kind of difficult languages, even if it's for me my first time doing it by myself, with the help of internet. So I like to be autodidact. So the theme is how do I do to learn any language or anything or anything but languages version. So today I was at work and one of my colleagues, she's she's one of the person in my surrounding who loves to speak languages, even if she think that she doesn't have a lot of resources when she's speaking, but she has a good accent and stuff. She understands and she can give conversation to others. And also apparently she has a medical background too. And I was realizing that I am too. And then we explained together, oh yeah, we are the kind of person that love music. So when we're speaking, we love to have this kind of melody in our throats. I hope that making this content could help anyone. So at first I was like, okay, oh, she loves languages. So I told her, oh, I'm learning Japanese right now because I don't want to just limiting myself around easier languages. So her question was, how do I do? And at the moment, I didn't have any time, but I explained her really quickly, and this gave me this idea to do this content. Woohoo! First of all, I didn't start with it, but I've made to ChatGPT asking him the common vocabularies and the basic grammar points that I can use in the target language, as for me Japanese. Then, with the help of a content creator, I've made storytelling around my job, my hobbies, my interest, the people that are important in my life, university content, my favorite meal or restaurant, traveling, daily routine, the city that I'm living in, or the city that I used to live in. Also, the most important is to talk about a story that happened to you in your childhood or just in your life in general. This was the second point. Can we believe it? With both, so with the both of content of it, so I can merge of it. So what I do is to just focus on 30 words for the vocabularies from ChatGPT, and then from I don't know, for example, I'm just talking about my job, or I'm just talking about who I am. So I would say, oh, how to say name. I think name is namae or namae, something like this. And this is something that I usually know because I used to, for example, watched Detective Conan. What I do then is that so I merge my content for storytelling with the vocabularies that I asked to ChatGPT for 30 words at least because it's great to learn. So you can do a Google Sheet about one column like this, one column with the translation with the target language, and if the target language demands to know how to read it in another way as the Roman version, which is Romanji for Japanese, or I think it's Romanization for Korean, and Pinyin for Mandarin Chinese, if I'm correct. Stuff like this. And so you have like three columns, for example. Also, you can divide it as four columns if you want one column with just kanas and another one with kanas and kanjis and katakana, kanas and kanjis, sorry. So yeah, so you have this, and from this you can easily create a language island. And so for me, for each language, you should have one Google Sheet for your vocabularies, one Google Sheet for your grammar point, and one Google Sheet for language learning, a language island. But yeah, this is not in the special order, but I just told it. So with the vocabularies, what I do is to create images for association as now, like mental images to create mnemonic association.
Wow.
And then if you don't know the translation in the target language or in the translation target language, you can just use Google Translation and DeepL to have the Kana or the Ramaji version. Uh, and then from this, I create audio. So I put it together. I use TDS Maker, and I put it in the AI Japanese female voice that I can listen whenever I want. If I'm taking transportation, which I love to do, is to just listen to it. And so I put in SoundCloud, and so I listen to it. And sometimes I can repeat them, but not really out loud. So I just mimic the pronunciation with my mouth, and it looks like I am singing a song, but you know, I'm just repeating after it. So what is the routine? Normally, the routine is to learn 30 vocabularies per day with association and then review them on Quizlet. So with the Quizlet, I was really worried because I know when you have a lot of information, it could be too overwhelming. So I was like, okay, I'm so stressed about copy and paste stuff one by one from Google Sheet to Quizlet, and then I finally found how to make it easier. So you just have to create a PDF and then associate it with Quizlet, which is so cool. Maybe I could show you how I do this. Then the daily routine is about to listen 1 hour or two, a podcast, a radio, or you can also add straight interviews. And this will be more when you do things as taking care of you, it could be shower, beauty moment, or also when you're doing chores. What else? Also when you're just walking or doing or working out. So this is what I do. And this will give you more. So the learning. So this one is for the listening part. Then the learning and repeating part is more for the speaking fluency. You can just do it for 5 to 10 minutes, doing it out loud. Sorry. And for this, you just you can take a vlog, or even straight interview again. And now you just repeat after the person, or first of all, you just recognize it, and then, yeah. So. Did I say that I put, yeah. The things I thought that was by point until now. So I didn't create flashcards. Also, missed the I missed the opportunity to review my kanas as hiraganas and kataganas, especially kataganas. So it's okay. Also, uh, so I talk about listening exercise using podcast, radio, student interview. For me, I have Mona podcast, but I will give it more resources, even if I don't want it to be so overwhelming. I have Mona podcast. Mona, he's a dancer, so I choose a area where I'm really kind of passionate and have an interest for it, and now I'm using it as to blend it with languages. For example, dance in Japan, and this is really interesting because I didn't see this content anywhere coming from Japan. Maybe from UK or United States, but not from Japan. And I think this is so innovative. Uh, so yeah, also you can use Easy Japan for straight interview, and I don't have Japanese radio. I maybe okay. So the things that makes me want to learn more about Japan was the group Psyche Fever, knowing that I was this kind of girl that wanted to learn Japan about it, and also I used to follow um their it's more like Senbei but Japanese version. Is it Sensei? I don't know. Oh, Senpai. I think it's Senpai. And so I don't know. I was like, okay, maybe I should go back to Japanese, and so this is what I did. And now, what was the purpose of it? Oh yeah. And now I've just realized that in their fan club they have stuff like radios, which is really cool. But I don't know why I'm feeling like it's really difficult to just having access to it. And I feel like if I could listen to it, I could be better at listening stuff because I'm really attached to this group, which is a good thing. So this is the listening part. Now for the pronunciation part, as I said, that you can choose a personality, artist, creative, whatever it is, even from politics if you have one. And then because you are attached to them, you will be really focused on what they are doing. And when you put when you put the subtitles, you will see some word that you can recognize. And even if there are English version of it, it's okay. Uh, for example, I was watching a content with Crystal K. She is an artist from Japan, and at the moment she say after after, before, and I was like, oh, this is after and before, telling this is the after, and here this is the before. Oh no, the before after, the before after. But there is a intonation and pronunciation which is very different from English. Then I have uh, so yeah, as I said, for me, and you can do whatever you want, but for me, it's much better to create one Google Sheet for the grammar, one for vocabulary, and another one for language islands. So what is language island? Language islands is the last things that you have on the daily routine habit that you can do while learning a language. And this is kind of the mix of all of what you have. It's more about expression that you can use every day. For example, I can say, hi, my name is da da da, instead of just focusing on bread, egg, grapes, or I have, you have. I think also you can use conjugation, but I would put this in grammar because, yeah, maybe I should do a conjugation stuff. Let's see. Then on instead of doing what's the grammar part? Instead of doing, I don't know what you have in Japanese. Oh, the demo no, ima doko ni, uh, grammar stuff. This math stuff like this. Instead of just focusing on it, in the language island, you grab all of the stuff and put this as, okay, so I've learned this word, and also you've learned from what you've listened and what you've just learned and repeated, and now you're like, oh, maybe I should say, okay, my name is, uh, I am, I go by the name, da da da, stuff like this. And when you have those kind of phrases, because it's more about sentences or um, formulas that you can use for anything, then when you will get used to, then you will be like, okay, I know how to say this in your head. And sometimes I'm like, wow. Like also, okay, so this is the language island, sorry. So you just create sentences, which are formulas that you can use for everyday life, as to getting into presentation, greeting, talking about your job, stuff like this, but more like phrases, not as storytelling. You can get inspiration from ChatGPT, asking ChatGPT, can you give me presentation between two per person? So you have the asking version, you have the asking part, and you also have the answer part, which is really great. And also you get inspiration from your storytelling, and you blend it, vocabularies, conjugation, grammar to it, and boom, you have your language island, which is really the most important. But I forgot what I wanted to say. And also, when you do all of this, you always create your audios. So if you have vocabularies day one, create it, plus the flashcard, conjugation, create it, plus the flashcard. Um, what else? Is it grammar? Same things. And then language island, same thing. Um, Talking about grammar, I just went to a application named Sensei. It's the application version of, I think his name is Kim Tae, something like this, grammar lesson, and his application is really, really complete for basic grammar with depth explanation. But you should know how to read katakanas, hiraganas, and especially kanjis to know how to read them. Why I'm telling this, because today I was trying to know what is how to conjugate or how to use this. It's like kind of a type of verb. So this, and the more I was reading stuff, the more I could see the depth of it and how to use it through different respect form, as honorific, humble form, and also I don't know the name. I think it's respect, but the basic respect. And after that, you have formal and stuff, which is really interesting. As someone who's used to learn Korean, I think this was really cool to have another language with the same type of level of respect in the language. And I think the moment you know how to use it, when to use it, and with who for the respect, I think this is the moment that you can talk more with a stranger outside of just training yourself to speak in Japanese. And so I was talking about languages, da da da. So Okay, I told y'all that the point of the daily routine was learning vocabularies with a session and reviewing it. Supposed to listen to um, podcast radio for 1 to 2 hours, learning and repeating for 5 to 10 minutes out loud. Uh, and also, what is it again? And also creating a language island. Now, the things that I think you should really take in consideration is first of all your mental health. Mental health, if you don't feel like you want to learn anything, just first of all rest. Think about how you feel, what is the emotion about it. Make sure that you recognize where you can notice the pain or whatever it is, pressure, and then you can talk about it, journal about it and stuff, and then label it, understanding it, and reframe it. And most of the time, to reframe it, require to practice um, nervous system regulation, as playing with hot and cold. That could be from ice cube, taking a hot and cold shower. Also, walking is really good, as running or jumping rope. What else? You have EFT tapping, breathing, meditation, breathing, breath work, sorry, and then meditation, or both of them, or yeah. So I think it's so important. Then you can go on it if your mind is on the state to do it. So you can learn your language. And to finish with it, I think it's so important to not only learn the language, but also learn the culture. As for me, okay, this is more about pop culture, but for me, I love to watch TV shows, read mangas, yes, watch series and movies, because or I don't know, going out to go to a Japanese event is also about culture, because the more you're into it, the more you will be able to have another perspective around this language. Or you can also watch vlogs from people that are living in Japan. You have TikToks, YouTubes, Instagram, and maybe more. And also, yeah, so I think this is really cool. I don't know if it's a video, and I hope it's not too long, but I kind of want to be thankful toward certain Vanjin, Miguel the I Polyglot, and Language Lord for a certain technique that they gave me. Um, and also, I didn't talk about how I learned the kanas, even if it's not perfect, but I think it's so cool. And so tell me in the comment what you thought about my content and if it was at least valuable. Yeah, thank you very much.